So, in today's episode, we're going to generally go over on how to properly handle various species of geckos, how I go about doing it, and generally overall what should you do and what you should not do while you're actually handling your gecko. Now, I wasn't able to showcase every single species that I own. However, I have plenty of stock footage that I figured I would share with you, fill in the gaps. However, we're going to be mainly just looking at how to handle different types of geckos. So first things first, I always suggest that you should always contain your gecko in a front opening enclosure for easier access, so that way you do not come from above to pick up your gecko. All it does really when you come from above is just scares the living piss out of them. So it's best not to try to pick up your gecko from above, because all it's going to do is scare them and they will try to run away from you, and it will just not be a good experience for them. And you don't want that for the gecko, especially the more sensitive species. So if your gecko's personality is on the active side, be prepared for a lot of hand walking. It's a technique that you use when you put one hand under the other and allow the gecko to walk across effortless. In this case, the gecko will calm down after expending some energy, and generally if you're trying to tame them down, that's the best time to put them back, because it actually rewards them. And sometimes you'll come across a jumpy gecko where you can handle them similar to hand walking, but I call it platforming. Technique is very similar to that of hand walking. You put one hand in front of the other and let the gecko jump from one hand to the other. Now, not all geckos probably should be handled, so if the animal's too flighty for you, it's okay to observe them from a distance. When handling terrestrial geckos, same rules apply. Don't come from above like I just did here. You want to corral the gecko under your hand and or gently scoop it up. Same rules apply to the arboreal species. You just have to be a little bit more careful when picking them up because of the lamellae on the bottom of their feet. You may accidentally damage them. You might ask if you could pet your gecko. Yeah, you can, but I would keep it to a minimum, because petting doesn't really give them pleasure of any kind. If anything, it's more of an agitation. So try to keep it to a minimum, and your gecko will be a lot happier, especially if you don't handle the gecko at all. Unfortunately, that's the truth. Geckos do not like being handled. It does stress them out. But however, if you do it at 15-minute intervals, it's relatively safe and harmless. And note that not all geckos are easily handled, and you should stick with the much more comfortable species such as crested geckos, African fattails, leopards, and gargoyle geckos. You can make handling more rewarding by giving them treats while you're handling them. However, a gecko that really trusts you will eat off your hand a lot easier than one that is still learning about being comfortably handled. Now, you'll notice in this video I am handling some species that are notoriously not good for handling. These calm ones that you'll see here, like Gigan, that requires a lot of work, time, and patience. And note that not every single tokay gecko will actually tolerate handling like that. And the same goes for other species as well, such as Halmahera geckos, day geckos, and other geckos similar to that. Some of them just will not tolerate handling at all. However, there are sometimes exceptions to the rule, and you just have to be careful when trying to attempt handling any of those much more advanced species. Well, that's pretty much all I have for this video, guys. I really appreciate your support. If you want to see more videos like this, please give me a like, a thumbs up, whatever you want to call it. Subscribe, comment down below, share my channel, whatever you got to do to spread the word. And I guess I'll check you guys next time if I ever have time to do another video. See you later, guys. Bye.